Yes, hello everybody to the Women and Drones Africa Fireside Chat. These are a monthly session where people jump on and come and listen to our special guest. And today our special guest is Dania Montenegro from Panama, which is fantastic. I forgot to ask you, what time is it over there at the moment?
Right now is 10:40, 10 a.m.
All right, not too bad.
No, it's great.
Okay, excellent. Well, Dania's is the co-founder of Cobots Labs, part of the international network of the Flying Labs Panama. And Dania is going to speak to us about engaging youth in drone technology and robotics, especially in terms of contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030. Dania, if you would like to go through your give us your presentation, that would be fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. You will let me know if you see my screen.
Can see it. It's
great.
Yeah, it's on.
Great. Thank you very much, Louis, Debbie, and Desi. I like that names. And well, it's like good morning, good evening, and good night, depending in which side of the planet you are. And thanks a lot, Women and Drones, for creating these collaborative and cool spaces to share what we are doing and how we are doing. Thanks a lot. As Debbie, as Luis already mentioned, I'm the co-founder of Cobots Lab, where we connect talent, technology, and opportunities. That's our goal. And we represent the international network of Flying Labs in Panama. We have been representing Flying Labs since 2018. So it means this year we will have 5 years of being representing the network here in Panama, and is very interested what we are doing or how we are doing. We start with the network as a challenge for us, because in Panama, you are part of networks, but very big networks. It was a very interesting goal. And our main goal in the Flying Labs network is to creating positive, sustainable, and locally led impact around the globe. And I will tell you, like, when I talk about around the globe, is around the globe, you can see how much representations we have worldwide. We have more than 35 representations, and the first Flying Lab started in 2015. And right now, 2023, we are more than 35. And basically in the south part of the globe. Talking about a little bit of Cobots and Flying Labs in Panama, we are a Panamanian company with a vision of being a regional benchmark in the development of solutions for social problems. We like to address social problems through the use of robotics and in an inclusive manner, okay? Our mission in summary is to connect local talent, as I told you, local talent, tech, and opportunities. And we do so by creating meeting space of collaboration between multiple sectors. And here we talk about academia, we talk about private companies, we talk about NGOs, we talk about communities. We are very engaged with communities, is where we start basically, right? And other local partners and stakeholders, right? And now that you know we are part of this big, not so big, but a very interesting network worldwide, I will tell you about a little bit why we consider the drones and the robotics like our best friends to reach the kids and youth and to collaborate in the fulfillment of the SDGs. Why? Why we create our programs, why we do what we do? Because we have a goal and is to create social impact. We have a task that is bridging the digital divide. And we love to do it opening space for equity and inclusion. And here I have to make like a stop. I'm a Spanish speaker, so my apologizes with pronunciation, and I don't know if I will create new words, innovation could be also, but I hope you can understand me. This is the why. This is why we do what we do here in Panama and through whole the network, right? Because it's the same. We love to create social impact and bridging the digital divide, right? Because our main product is technology, okay? But this main product is just like the 10% of the cake. It's just the 10% of the cake. It's like the tool to reach the people. At the end, the biggest part is the people, the communities. And how we do it? We do it through, in this case, of kids and youth. We do it through STEM that includes the critical thinking, the creativity, the communication and collaboration, and at the end is communications. You need to communicate what you are doing, and the kids need to learn to collaborate and communicate and work in groups, right? We also use the methodology of project-based learning and cooperative learning, and you will see in the next slides how we implement these methodologies. And what we deliver at the end. What we deliver? We deliver some programs like Geonautas, pilot projects, trainings, Magic of Mangrove, that is a very cool book, Drones a la Obra, that is like drones hands-on, and Python from zero. We have created like several trainings or programs to reach community, and to reach basically kids and youth. Okay, let me go. Geonauta. This is like our first baby. We were like, it was like our first time being moms. It was our baby, and it was created in the middle of pandemia. All of us were in our houses. This is amazing because in January, we received a visit of Sonia. Sonia is from We Robotics. We Robotics is like the headquarters of the Flying Labs network. And personally, I was so happy because I say, Sonia, this year we are not going to run. We have a roadmap. We have our activities. We have our plan. We have nothing at the end, because we have a lot of plans and the pandemic arrived. And we say like the head or like the directors of Flying Labs in Panama say like, what we are gonna do? It was a project. We need to do our activities. We need to reach our deliverables. And we start having brainstorming sessions, a lot of brainstorming, and we reach this product, this very interesting product. This is our baby. And what we did, we developed a program in the 2020 with a duration of 3 weeks. It was a remote training. It was a remote training using drones, cell phones, and we deliver a very cool box. We send it through a delivery service, and we deliver drones, safety goggles. We deliver the landing pad. We deliver everything, and we start our trainings. We start our first week with theory, explaining what we were going to do, but doing in a very cool way. It's like a lot of games, activities, and it were kids from everywhere that were connected and were interacting and working in small groups. The amazing thing is like the first image you see over, they were the trainers, the leaders that were students from university empowering kids. And here is the key, and is what I love from the program, is young participants that are in university will inspire kids to go ahead and go forward through STEMs and robotics. And in the weekend, they received this cool box. You can imagine And at the end, we just not integrate the kids, but their parents, because their parent was like the drone, and we have to take out the curtains, and we have to have this safety space. And at the end, we integrate the whole family during pandemic to receive this training. And we try to reach the kids, we reach the family, the whole family, and they were interested. Some of the fathers say, like, I have cows and cattle, can I use the drones? Oh, I work in infrastructure, can I use the drones to see that, how it go ahead? And this is the goal, to generate impact. And we were amazed because our main target was the kids, but at the end was the whole family. And for us, it was a game. The age were from 12 up to 16. At the end, we impact 45 persons, because here the biggest challenge was to deliver the drones, to send the drones. Imagine we send a drone in a big truck to the end of our country. But if they were interested, we will do it, And at the end, for us, it was our first baby, and this inspired us to go ahead 2 years later when everything was open. And we create this program. This was a fresh program. It was fresh. The name is Geospatial Summer in English, Un Verano Geoespacial. It will guide more or less the same years. Now they are a little bit younger, from 8 up to 13. We start going down, lower ages, and we use the same kit, more or less, micro drones, cell phones, and our attack materials to do a lot with hands. But this now, we work with the students, with the kids, and we create like a clear understanding of the geospatial science, the drone technology, all that engineering that is behind, because for us, this is very important. When you talk, sometimes you talk kids about engineers and they say, that's very boring, like math. No, I don't want to. Oh, geography. And we say that, that Google Maps is geography. And behind this, we have engineers. And we start, that challenge here was the amount of kids. From 45 kids, we jump to 250 kids in 3 weeks. It was a big challenge. It was, these communities are risk communities. We reach communities in risk, in alliance with partners that assist us. And at the end, we train these 250 kids, and we believe that this time, these 5 hours that we spend with them will change their life, will inspire them, because once again, students from university were empowering kids and inspire them to go through drones, technology. We use radio, VHF radio for communications, walkie-talkie. We talk about airspace. We will have pilots. We are going to have some pilots from that 250 kids. Some images of what we did, and you can see we have the drones, the tablets, the kids. We have an ortho mosaic. You can see the image from the right hand. I think it's my right hand, yeah. And you have the ortho mosaic, and we explain this is like a big puzzle from images and how they are correlated by the geotags. We try to do it in the simplest way we can find to explain, but at the end, we try to inspire them to go through the drones as a new professional career. Then we realized, or in parallel, we were working in a very interesting activity that is the first book from our network, is The Magic of Mangrove. In parallel, the whole network, and especially We Robotics, was working in a book. And when you hear like Magic of Mangrove, you say like, what happens? Where is the drone? Well, the drone is very related because this book is inspired in a pilot project we did in Panama, in small islands, where we were monitoring the sea level rise, okay? And what they inspired in this project to write a book where we appear as characters, like a small Dania and a small Mincy and a small pilots. And here, Claudia, that is the kid that live in the island, is worried about the mangrove. And she finds a friend. She finds Ariel, that is a small drone, that will help her to go and make a survey in that mangrove island. What we did with this new tool, the book, we go lowest in ages. We reach 5 years kids. We start with the public reading book, and we make a workshop where we have seeds of mangrove and we have our drones, and we go, we tell the story, then we share with them the seeds and the seeds of the mangrove. And at the end, we explain them that the mangrove are natural barriers, so we need to conserve them, so we can have protect the island. And at the end, they use the drones. Of course, these workshops are with a little amount of kids, because you can imagine kids of 5 years flying drones. So we have like 3 kids and 1 adult. But they take off and land the drone, and it was amazing. They were very good students. They behaved very well, and they love what we did. So if you can see, we start with kids with participants of 16, and now we have like 5-year-old, and it's the same thing. But we were like testing what we were doing, but we love what we did, and all of our activities are related to the SDGs, because we want to have quality education, gender equity also. And this type of workshops inspire the families and the kids to continue with educational activities, to see if we can have no poverty at the end, right? Then talking about robotics, and we say like, it's not like using the technology, but you need to know how to program. And we are 3 co-founders, 2 women and 1 man. And the man is Dr. Humberto. He's in robotics, Python, whatever we need to create. If we need to create a transformer, he can take care of that. So at the end, we launched this summer Python from zero, from basic to intermediate. And the goal was to introduce them in the programming using Scratch. We start with Scratch, that is a basic language of programming. Then we talk about control flows, function, importing code and library. And at the end, they had a final project that was controlling the robot cars using Python. As a bonus, because at the end it's like, okay, what else we can do? If you are very interested, go ahead and program the drones with Scratch, to understand they are different language of coding and programming. But the basic here was to introduce them in the Python, because this is not the future, this is the present. Programming and coding is the back work that we have in all our drones and software and AI and all those things. You saw we have a lot of programs for kids and youth, but we also impact our leaders, because we have a program of leaders, and we impact students from university. We got in alliance with the City of Knowledge. Is a very big area in Panama dedicated to innovation, entrepreneurship, and they were implementing a project in alliance with the BitLab. Is an international organization that gave fundings, and at the end we implement a program. The name is Drones a la Obras, and in this particular case, we create a program for students of universities, right? We want to train future pilots in the use of drones in an ethical and responsible manner. For us, this is a keyword, because when you fly a drone, you have access to a lot of data that sometimes is of interest of you and sometimes is not of interest. And like explaining, like if you are going to a community, you should talk first with the community instead of just launching the drone. Ethics and responsible way of handling the data for us is very important. Through the entire process required to plan, they will learn which is the process to plan your mission in a safe way, and how to develop and execute a data capture mission using the drones, the unmanned air vehicles. And we go ahead after that, processing the data and delivering a small project in 3 days. We have the trainings of 24 hours, which is a hybrid method. We start online the first day. We have different instructors. We have the participation of the Civil Aviation Authority in our training. She's the one that gives us the authorizations to fly, and she trains in terms of the law and how to access for the permissions and how you should handle this process of asking permission. And that your drone should be registered, that your drone has like a call sign, that you need an insurance, etc., etc. We talk about communications, how to talk with communications in airspace. We talk about what are the drones, type of drones, vertical takeoff, fixed wing drones, etc., etc. We make a lot of highlight in the use of drones, but aligned in creating impact. We can say like, yeah, you can fly an infrastructure, but how you're going to create impact through this activity. You can consider also assisting communities in agriculture using the drones, for example. And we spent 3 days with them. And at the end, each team, each crew, because they are divided by squads in crews, like crew Alpha, crew Bravo, crew Delta, each of them will create their own project from zero, like from preparing the drones, batteries, handling the batteries, planning the mission, asking for permissions, simulating asking and talking with the, with the I forgot the name, the tower, the aeronautical tower to ask for authorization, and the checklist, and after that, reviewing their data, processing their data, and generating automatics, DSM and DTM, and presenting the project, explaining what they capture, and first of all, the challenge they face. Because that you start and then you have like no telemetry, or you need to the compass and whatever. This from the challenge is from where you really learn, and that's what we did. And the results of this program were in Panama. We are 10 provinces in the whole country. We are 10 provinces. We reach 6 provinces. 4 universities. From these 4 universities, we reach 9 centers, because we don't have a lot of universities in Panama. But for example, University of Panama, that is in the main city, then we have like in other provinces. So we went to different provinces. We reached 155 students. From these, 92 were men, and 63 were women. For us, is a good result. It's not a 50-50, but is very near from, and we change the normal rate or percentage of participation we have from women. And for example, the picture we have here, this was our first edition of when we start, and the whole participants were women. We're 11 women in the main city of Panama. And these are students from civil engineering, topography, geodesy, and all of them were women. So we were very excited with this particular first session of the Drones a la Obra. And these are images of what we do and who we are. If you can see, we have also a Santa hat, because we are in every single activity. We can have a space we will share. The first one image is our team. This is our team. This is our office. That's why you have like 3D printers in the back and drones and computers, and it's a lab. We have a lab. And these are students from the university that are leaders. We teach them, we prepare them, and we inspire them to inspire others. Then we have like the programs we have for kids. You can see here he is also, this is Frank, and he's ending his thesis in mechanical engineering, for example. These are programs we had in Verano Geoespacial, and then by the end of Christmas, we were invited for a 2 days activities in Christmas. And I don't know if they were willing to have gift, but what we gave them were the opportunity to fly drones. And believe me, our stand was the full one. Everyone wants to fly the drones. So this is how we reach communities, how we create engagement, how we love to create impact. You can find here where is the guide of the orange teacher, the orange shirt. I forgot the name. This guy. She is from an origin. She is an indigenous community, and what we did, because we do pilot projects also. We are talking about kids, but we reach from kids until mature people. And she is a teacher, right? And she lived in a community named San Blas. Is an island that is going to disappear because of the sea level rise. And we went and we fly. And after that, after we fly, because we have short period, we bring them to university and we explain them how to use the data. You know, because it's not just collecting the data and generating the orthosites or the product. How you are going to interpret it, how you are going to take advantage of this information. And we train them and we co-create with them. And for us, it was amazing to see like how they are very well organized as community, but how they identify for the first time, like from an 360 view, their country, their community, their boundaries, and how they were planning. Because what was the situation here? They have to move from their island to another region, okay? And they are used to living an island. They fish, they don't have cars, they have boats. They have to change their way of living. And for this, they have to create a logistic, okay? They have like their particular way of government. They have a cacique, and they have a special house for the cacique that is the maximum authority, and they have to plan everything. And with this image and with this information, with this orthomosaic of their island and of the new area they are going to move on, it was a very useful tool for them to plan their new style of life, how they are going to continue with their costumes, okay? And now you can see images from the Drones a la Obra, from Python. We try to do activities with community. For us, the most important are community. I told you, like our first training, we were thinking to reach kids, and in the end we reached the whole family, and we made like when we end, we have like a graduation event, and the picture was a whole family. It was like amazing. All the whole family went on the Zoom video for that graduation. They were very excited. One of the parents gave the initial words of the activity. The dean from the university also talked. It was a very cool and interesting project in middle of pandemic. You know, in middle of pandemic, you need motivation, you need inspiration, you need activities to continue and to have like fresh air. And this is us. This is our community of leaders. This is like this is in our office. It's not our office. We have a little office in this very beautiful building that is in the old part of the main city. Is a region that we are trying to work on because it's a risk region, but we need to be there to understand what we need and what we have to do. So thank you for your participation. If you have any question.
Oh, thank you so much, Dania. I think you've got a few people here that would love to take part in your education programs and sort of do similar things, me included. I just love the fact that you said how the families have got involved, because that must surely make it easier when the kids get older and say, I am going to pursue a career, and they know what's behind that. They've been a part of it and can now encourage it. That's just brilliant that the whole families have got involved. I just love that.
That was not well, when we start, we didn't have the goal, but you know, right now it's like you are working and you have a plan, but you have to adequate your plan depending on the results. And when we identify that big opportunity, we say we are in the right way. We are on the right way.
Yeah. No, I just think that's brilliant. Are there any questions from, sorry, Debbie's got her hand up here. Yep, Debbie.
Dania, that was so inspiring and really interesting to do. With that GIS training that you did, what software were you training in? Is it open source software?
With the GIS, we are in partners with ARGIS.
Okay.
Esri team, yeah, they are our partners. So we basically invite them to take care of the GIS area because they are the specialists. We like to work and we love to work with partners. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also through a partnership with Esri. I'm a trainer for GIS training, but it's more introduction to the Esri suite of software. But it would be quite useful to teach a workflow around processing imagery and that, which I assume you did, sort of like cradle to grave training to, you know, here's your drone, fly up, take an image of this, download it, you know, whatever workflow you have in that training. I assume for the older kids.
Oh, you asked me about the workflow. Yeah. Basically, when we start a GIS training, basically we start with a map and an activity like we should find a treasure. To understand, we start from zero, like talking what is a map. And after that, we explain them like this information that you are collecting, we are going to process. And yes, what we do is we explain the workflow. We talk about the GIS the GIS main concepts, talking about kids, talking about the adult programs. We use ARGIS as, for example, side scan. That side scans can assist you for planning and also for processing. And at the end is a platform that you can use also to share your results with your customers. So we talk about them. We talk with them about different platforms in order to capture and process. And we basically talk about Pix4D as one of the platforms and also a side scan as one of the platforms for their workflows. I don't know if that answers your question, Debbie.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
I was just going to, you made me wonder, what is your regulatory environment like? I assume you need to get a pilot's license, but can you then fly commercially, or must you become an operator, or is it a complicated process or is it an easy process?
Okay, in Panama, you first have to take the trainings with a certified school. After that, you go and you obtain your pilot car, your license. and you can work as a freelancer and offer your service, or your company could offer service at this moment. In the regulation, there is a commercial permission you should have as a company, but actually the authorities are creating that process to obtain this permission. So if you ask me, you know, for us in America, it's like, it's not new, but it's not old. Like, we are adequate and they are adequate in their process.
Okay, so it's reasonably open to be able to do something positive, you know, and use drones at a, as you say, on a freelance basis at least.
Yeah, you have to ask them. This is like the first step. Yeah, you have your pilot license, but after that, you first of all, to fly, you need to register your equipment. Your equipment will have a registration.
Mm-hmm.
To register your equipment, you need insurance. And after you have these 3 basic items, then you can ask for a permission. There is a form you have to complete, and you will communicate with the authority. You will ask a permission at least 1 week in advance, depending on the area you want to fly. It's a challenge in Panama. Panama is very small, and we have airports, and you know, there is a buffer, and we have area where the 2 buffers meet. So this is the complex part here, and we have the Panama Canal that is also a restricted area, presidents, jails, area you are prohibited to fly. It doesn't mean you won't be able to fly, but you need to ask additional permissions, for example. So our recommendation is always to ask for your permission at least 1 week in advance.
Okay, all right. It's interesting. Sam, I see your hands up.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My question is, what is the youngest age of the students that you're allowed to participate? And the second part of my question is, how many people on your team when you roll out your initial session?
Okay. 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds. We start with kids of 5-year-olds, and depending of the age, we have that amount of instructors. Okay. When it was a virtual, we have at least 2 or 3 instructors to keep the kids motivated. And we work sometimes in small groups, and we break sessions constantly with activities like, and now we are gonna get air, like balloon fish, you know, different activities, but just to keep them motivated. And when we had the activity for the 250 kids, we were like 30 leaders, 30 leaders, but they were not at the same time. Okay, we have like 100 kids, the 125 the first week and 125 the second week, and we spread also our leaders into teams, 1 team of 15 and the other team of 15 instructors, and the head are the 3 of us that were monitoring like everything. But it was a challenge because at the end are kids. But if you explain them the rules from the very beginning, and if you say like, you need to follow these steps to go ahead and have the opportunity to fly the drone, they will do it. They will do it.
Excellent.
Beautiful,
Yes.
thank you.
Sorry, Sam, sorry, I forgot. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to say, I really like the activity you had with the Magic in Mangroves book. That was a really good, and also the work that you were doing with the islanders, you know, to help them plan for the future, which is obviously rushing in a bit faster than perhaps they're, you know, the idea of suddenly finding your community is going to have to move because the island becomes uninhabitable. That really brings it home the value of being able to use drone data to help them map, plan and take their community somewhere else.
Yeah, and with the two trainings, the first one, Geonautas, Verano Geoespacial, with Geonautas, at the end they have a project. They have to make teams and propose how they are going to use the drones to impact their community. They decide like, for me it was a little bit sad to hear like, no, in terms of security, kids thinking of security. It's like, okay, they are living in a very complicated area if they think in security in terms of using the drones. Other ones say like the garbage management. Other ones say no, the river, to avoid contamination in the river. And the next year with Verano Geoespacial, we use superheroes. We have the superhero of the agriculture, and we have the superheroes that is an activity from the SDGs also. We use that activity. We were hired by a biggest NGO, okay? And they say like, okay, we know you work with final projects, but we are gonna use the superheroes. And we adapt this activity, and they were superheroes, and they present the projects they work in their PPT and present what they did and how they were going to use the drones to save the world.
Excellent. Oh, I love that. There was another thing you triggered in my mind there, and I've lost it temporarily. It will come back. But it's nice to see that there's a good representation of women and girls taking part. You know, when you showed the photograph of the entire class from the university being ladies, that was just brilliant to see that's you know, there's a very good and positive interaction there.
Yeah, at the end, you know, when I read Women and Drones, I said like, oh my God, this was an idea we want to do in Panama. As the network, if you ask me, as Flying Network, we have a group of women, and we dream to have like an international activity or to go around the world and inspire others, you know, because at the end, some areas need inspiration, and to hear from others that we are able, we are humans, and we can do it. No problem if they are drones. We can do it. We can handle it. We can handle the sun. We can handle the dust. We can handle whatever. We can go ahead with the projects. And so as we are, you know, in every single activities, when we were 10% women, because we start measuring participation 10%. We said, no, we need to go ahead, 30%. And we had another program I didn't mention, but in that program, our main goals was to have 50-50, and we reached our goal to have 50-50 participation in is Sheroes, and it's a very big proposal. And we have like all these trainings that you saw, like Magic of Mangrove, Chronautas, Python, but as FabLab Youth, and we had 50-50 participations in 2 provinces of Panama. That was, we worked with local partners, NGOs, and all those things, and we reached that numbers. So this is our goal, to reach the 50-50 and to inspire them. Actually, in Panama, in the universities, we have more presence of women than men in the universities. So it will help a little bit.
Oh, fantastic. The question I was going to ask you, just sorry, has anybody else got a question? I don't want to dominate here. Any other hands? Any other questions? No. Okay, I was going to ask, are you well supported by, you know, our government organizations? And you mentioned there the NGOs that hired you. How are you, you know, are you being supported by other agencies in Panama to do the training activities and the engagement that you've been talking about?
Okay, we work with the First Lady of Panama. We implement one project with the First Lady, and the Christmas activity, we were invited by the First Lady. She saw what we did one summer, and she said, like, we need you the next year. And we were invited to be part and supported. We got support from them. We try to work with local NGOs and we send proposals. Right now we are engaged in a proposal in Guatemala with an international organization. We are in the admin process, you know, but it will be a cool project, all for women. Women, we will have 30 pilots, 30 women pilots, indigenous women pilots.
Excellent.
So this is the type of activities that move us, that gave us a lot of energy to continue and go ahead. But we try to work with also with private companies that have social responsibility. We knock their doors to go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And I see that you're a pilot as well. Do you get involved in the training directly as well?
Yeah, I was the first one in charge of giving the trainings.
Okay.
Before I was in charge of giving these webinars or speaks and also training, you know, when you start, you are like 2 or 3. Yeah, I continue. I gave the virtual session, the introduction, the first module. And I actually work as a pilot also. Well, I'm not the pilot, I'm the operations manager in charge of the whole projects, from creating the proposal until implementing and giving the results for a company, for another company. But I've been engaged like since 2018. I started with my first Phantom, and now I fly Wingtras, M300, depending on what we have in front.
I love it. You're just rolling them off there. How's the Wingtra to fly? I've never flown one of those.
It's good, huh? It's good because you know it's a VTOL, and you don't have to mind if you have a big area to take off. You get a little bit nervous when they turn off, you know, to go ahead, but it's good. It's good, and the image quality is 42 megapixels. Camera is good.
Okay, not
For
bad.
topography, it's great.
Also, you can see it in the sky. I used to spray the Phantom orange so I could see it. So it's nice to yeah, you can see the Wingtra when it's up there.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, being orange is helpful.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Dania, I'm afraid we're coming to the end of the session. I'm really sorry. Absolutely, as Debbie said, totally inspiring to hear what you're doing and the engagement programs that you've had in Panama. I think if you gave out an invitation, half of us would be coming over right now to come and give you a hand and just get involved. I mean, all those happy faces and the engaged faces in the photographs you had there just really show the impact that you're having and also the fun that you're having yourselves. So really amazing work you're doing, and all the best for the way forward there. And please come back. So we'd love to hear what other projects you get engaged in. But thank you so much for your time. And I'm sorry that we've run out of time.
No, thanks to you for your kind invitation. Panama is open for you. I hope you can come and inspire us, please. Please come and inspire us. We have a goal. I think all of us that are here have a goal, so we should keep in touch.
Yeah, well said. Thank you. Yes, definitely. Yep. But thank you once again, and thanks everybody for joining. And I did post Dania's details at the beginning of the chat, so do save the chat. And we'll be back again at the beginning of April. And we've got Tawanda Chiambakwe from Flying Lab Zimbabwe, and he is planning. Yes, you must know him, Dania. He's planning to give us a live demonstration of crop spraying. So do come and join us if you can. But the beginning of April, the first Thursday of April. So yeah, but thank you again, Dania. Thanks everybody. Please all keep well, and we'll see you again soon.